Landry and state lawmakers call for the Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams to testify on agreements his office made that led to convicted felons getting out of jail early. Chris Joseph reports the DA's office pushing back, saying it consults with victims and follows the law.
Orleans Parish Court records show in recent months the district attorney's office made a number of agreements with convicted felons to resentence them. Some of those inmates are now free. Judiciary Chair Senator Jay Morris says he's concerned that's a safety risk and wants to hold legislative hearings to get some answers. Now, District Attorney Jason Williams' office sent a statement today saying the city has a history of, quote, unjust and defective verdicts. He says his office has followed the law and made sure victims are on board in each case. Now, Governor Jeff Landry tweeted his support for Morris's proposed hearings in the next 6 weeks. Records show a number of agreements were reached before August 1st, when a new state law took effect, requiring the Attorney General to be notified of resentencing attempts. Morris says the meetings will be a fact-finding exercise.
When people make bad decisions that endanger the lives of the citizens of the state, and not limited to Orleans Parish either, because we don't know where these former inmates are going after they're released. It's the job of the legislature to look into this matter.
Now, Williams says the attention on the post-conviction relief cases is an effort to disparage his office and its work. Morris says he hopes the Department of Corrections will participate in these hearings as well. He says he's going to continue to gather information in the meantime.